Welcome to Factory TV here at StartupCon 2016. I'm very pleased to talk to Ilja Laurs right now. And Ilja, what would you say? What is going to be the future payment?
Well, I think we're about to move into a very different world of payments and money. And I think that all traditional payments, including credit card, wire transfers, prove to be very inefficient for the new digital economy. For example, right now, completing a biography to pay like $5 for an online purchase of my credit card is just like a nonsense. And paying a bank $50 to send €1,000 across the sea is also a nonsense. And because the amount of information traveling is in fact no more than your text message, which is free and sent by the thousand and doesn't cost you $50. So all new currency solutions that basically are appearing from blockchain, Bitcoin, to like internet payments, etc., are trying to solve those issues. So I think the biggest drag here is actually coming from the existing infrastructure, because banks basically are built on a very secure, very solid, very conservative infrastructure. They cannot move or innovate. And also from a regulatory side, because apparently governments are scrutinizing what's happening with the money, because that's the core of economics. So that's stopping all things, and sometimes goes to the extremes. For example, virtual currencies like the Bitcoin sometimes are considered to be the evil, the money that drug dealers are using, etc. So because of that, it will take some time, but on the other hand, it's unstoppable. So I think that TransferWises of the world and many new innovative companies will rise despite what the banks and governments are doing. So today I will be talking about some new insights into what's happening in the fintech world, like what we as consumers can expect, what businesses are emerging, and what regulatory bodies should actually look at to prepare for the new world.
From the view from an investor, is there any startups here that you would be interested in?
Well, I've looked around a little bit. Just a couple of moments. Yes, there are a couple, right? I probably will not tell the name, just doesn't mean anything. But there are two things which strike me immediately as an investor. One is I'm a little bit disappointed with how similar, like all the different supposed to be ideas are. So it looks like there are just a couple of general ideas, like new social hiring platform, like new social network, etc. So the diversity of different unique ideas is actually pretty low. So it seems like everybody's kind of obsessed with the same thing, with the same. So I'm a little bit missing, those fundamentally new ideas. I've met a couple of those. So yes, there are some. Like for example, I actually was pretty surprised to see a fragrance company that measures your reaction to different colors and pictures, etc., and picks your personal fragrance.
Yeah.
So it was kind of refreshing and new, like both metaphorical and physically. but the rest of the ideas were kind of similar. So that's a little bit disappointing. The other thing is, I think in Germany as a market actually has a lot of challenges because it's pretty big. And I definitely do come from a Silicon Valley background, and the difficulty for markets like Germany, like France, like Russia, like China, is that the markets are big enough for startups to focus on the local market. And basically the experience suggests that local markets no longer exist. So you either build a global company like Facebook, or you don't exist after 5 years. So in a way, big market like Germany is sufficient for some startups to look at the Pfizer's perspective. So there could be like a local social network. It could be like a local Amazon. It could be like a local, maybe even Facebook for a while.
Okay.
But I think that's also challenging. So for example, right there, I didn't see a single presentation or a pitch in English. With all respect to Germany, for example, I don't understand German. So it was very difficult for me to even talk to founders. And that's definitely not the case in more aggressive territories. Well, apparently, like London and Silicon Valley, forget it, English is very native. But you look at like anybody from Israel to Scandinavia, apparently Finland and Sweden and all those territories, they are extremely global and extremely globalized. So I think that's a challenge for specifically German startups. And as an investor, for me, it's pretty difficult to invest something which, by definition, is not global. Yes. Because apparently, startup to pay for the risk, you have to have like a really big winning, like global winning. So that's the second challenge. But on the flip side, and like the quality of people, their enthusiasm, their engagement is awesome. I think it's actually Germany is very entrepreneurial country. Well, it's everywhere, just like pluses and minuses, pros and cons.
Yes, that's right. So would you say that maybe sometimes the startup hype in Germany is getting too big because you said the ideas are similar, and maybe that's because everyone is fascinated by founding, but not really by getting a good idea?
Well, I wouldn't say it's too big because I think that the innovation is coming faster and faster, and you do need more and more people involved in innovation. So I think that's okay and great to have like a lot of people obsessed with those ideas. Again, I'm missing a little bit with diversity because for sure there is like more than a dozen of ideas. There are like probably thousands. So yes. On the other hand, well, maybe it's a little bit difficult to come up with something truly original because apparently, well, like all founders, read the same TechCrunch, VentureBeat, etc. So probably they follow the same like Twitter, etc. accounts, same bloggers. So probably it makes sense that they kind of gravitate around like very similar ideas. But that's maybe not that because the competition apparently brings out the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a process, and I'm pretty sure that the diversity and the quality and the quantity of people involved in innovation startups will increase. That's for sure. And definitely, like looking at events like that, they're just like not possible available 5 years ago. So just like look at the progress, and then you definitely see the changes. And I think much more changes will be needed.
How do you like the StartupCon 2016 so far?
Yeah, I've heard that there has been like a little bit messy beginning, but things seem to be like gearing up a little bit. So yeah, it's my first time, and it's looked pretty impressive. And yeah, looking forward to having a keynote and then seeing what happens.
Okay, well, great. I wish you a great day here at StartupCon and have fun. And thank you very much for the interview.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.